The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, folks, looking good. Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. We're going to start out the show today looking at the E-mini S&P because this is what we were looking at on Monday when we did the show for the Money Show, folks. If you'll notice here, we were making that beautiful 61% retracement there on the 14th of September, and here we are on the 16th. So if you add 3 days, 14th, 15th, 16th, that tells you that something exciting might be happening. What I was trying to show the folks, and I only had them for about an hour, was to show that you can actually do a prediction on what these markets may or may not do just based on the numbers, that we were looking at. So what I tried to do is to relate it to, well, I did it to the S&P, of course, but I also did it with the Dow Jones because most of those folks were stock people. So I put this chart up of what we were expecting to happen here on either Thursday or Friday. I didn't know which day it was going to happen, but I said we'll most probably have that type of a rally into Thursday or Friday. And lo and behold, you'll never guess what happened today, folks. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. The first time in 33 years, I finally got something right. Boy, that's a good deal. Anyway, the reason why it's important to me, folks, I don't get paid for doing these speeches over there, but they do keep a tally of, your ratings among other speakers and stuff. And I actually got a very high rating, and actually 80% of the people that were in the room sent in a response, and all of them were positive. That's how much you can get for, you get 25 people in a room at $5 a piece, give it to them as they leave the door, they sign their name, you got it made. The cops have the badge bunnies, the group, the rock and roll people have the groupies, and the traders group has the trading tigers, and I have a lot of trading tigers over in Las Vegas. The room was actually filled. The biggest problem that we had filling it up is the tigers had their wheelchairs and walkers in the room, so it was a little hard getting them situated at first, but we finally made it through. But I did have a lot of fun. I got some nice responses, and that's really good. Now, I wanted to show you something, folks. I mean, I give you the best I can give you over this hour or so, but I talked to you many times about the 382 retracement and the importance of the 382 retracement. I just wanted to give you a bird's eye view of some of the things that was happening with the 382 pattern right now. I'll review the other positions in just a moment, but I just wanted to show you this morning. We're trading in one of the wildest markets out there. This happens to be, living the dream, baby. That's what it is, Mr. Z. This is the natural gas. Look at the 382 retracement here this morning, folks, right there at 524. And look at the move that it had. I had a big advantage here because when I was looking at that particular time, right on the open, you'll see here, and there's a perfect example again of the opening price. But if you'll take a look at this, look what happened with the prediction. It said it was going to go straight up. And of course, it went up and almost made new highs. That was a really big move, and it worked pretty good. But there's others that were in here that I'm going to share with you to suit this, and we'll keep that up with the natural gas, because look, after the top was made, look what happened here. After the top was made, and these are for strong trending markets, and that's what you've got. You go from 560 all the way down to 24, and then all the way up to 38, stopping exactly at the 382 retracement again. I focus on this every time I do a day trading seminar. I'll probably do another one maybe in November. I just focus on those because if you'll just wait for those, my goodness, it gives you a huge advantage because the risk is small, the profit is huge, and the odds of winning on these trades are, really, really, really good. But the only way you figure it out is if you do the work yourself, and a few people. Very good, Bo. Good job. That was up the 786 was. But anyway, it's just a simple way of looking at it. Now, one of the predictions that I made when I was in that at that time, I told them the trade to really watch for And I said, but besides the one in the Dow Jones, and then, well, of course, we talked about bonds too. But anyway, there was the one that was the most important to me because we'd made a 382 retracement here in the gold at 1776. I said, you buy it, you put a $5 stop. And this morning at 2:30, as it went below 1789, but all my alerts started to go off, and I keep them really loud in the middle of the night. It was about 2:30. I happened to be asleep. I woke, came into the room, and I saw that we were heading down, and I said, oh, I have an order sitting there at 1776, and it hit 1776. It rallied up to 1782, I believe, up about $600. And I said, you know what? I said, I think this is going to be a good one, so I'm going to try to go back to sleep. And I went to sleep, and then when I woke up, I said, oh, God, I said, I should have I used a $5 stop, and I should have put my stop at break even, because if it went up 2 and 5, that's $11. I didn't want to risk that much on the gold. Anyway, by the time I get up, I had gotten stopped out at 722, and it made the ABCD on that move, which came in at 1755, which was the 50% retracement, and it went $10 beyond that. Folks, that tells you that something's wrong with the gold market. In fact, there's something wrong with all these commodity markets. We are looking at something that you're not going to believe in the next 2 or 3 weeks. You're going to go back and say, why in the heck didn't I see something like this happening? And I'm trying to get you to take a look at it now because it's getting scary. And it's scary to me, and I'm fearless. So pay attention to what's going on here, folks. These things are really moving fast, and they're acting very badly because you have good news and bad response. You know, that's market feedback saying, uh-oh, something's not right. So you got to be able to protect yourself when you see something like that. Now, keeping on with the theme of the 382, let's just go back and take a look at a couple other markets that made 382s. We looked at the Dow Jones. The S&P number was exactly 4480, and I believe we made that. That was pretty much spot on. We already talked about the one in the Dow Jones. It hit it absolutely perfectly. The gold made it and then just broke, but you got to consider that as a failure because it went through it like melted butter. But there was a few others that were interesting too. Just take a look at this. Is an hourly chart that we're looking at here in soybeans. I love that quote, Mr. Z. That's from Braveheart. A brave man dies but once, a coward dies many times. That's right. I like that. That's one of my favorite quotes. You'll notice here the high in the soybeans today at 1307 was an exact 382 of the high we made back at 1380. And that dropped 35 cents from that spot. So if you're waiting for those numbers to pop, especially when you're near the opening price, it gives you a really big edge because you're looking at a market that is in a strong trend. Trading with the trend is always a smart thing to do, but it gives you a risk-reward ratio that is extremely high. I mean, you're talking 5, 6, 7 times on some of these things, and that's why the real beauty of that 382. Tom Hugard does that day in and day out, and I'll tell you, it works really great. By the way, Tom has been he's been hacked big time. He's got a couple of imposters out there that are using his name and everything, and they're charging $200 a month to trade like he does, and they have nothing to do with him. So evidently the fact that he's got so many followers, some of them are not good people, and he's having a little problem. He'll work it out. 877-927-6648.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave! Sign up for the opening call risk-free today.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, keeping with the theme of let's see if this stuff really works, and so you can throw vegetables at me if you want, but right here we are, 4450 in the OE mini S&P, and we're making a 382 retracement. Now the question is, how much do you have to risk on that trade? Well, the 50% retracement is 455, so you have to risk 5 points. I always risk 7, so the 61% retracement, it is 4459. I'm going to stick with 6 points, so I'll put my stop at 4456 and let the cards roll as they may. There's a few little tiny ABCD patterns in this thing, but it's just, remember, it's just a 2-minute chart, so you can't really, a lot of people trade the 2 minutes, but I certainly don't like to mess with those things. But you'll see here that we do have a ABCD pattern setting there. Very close to a 451 and change. But we're just using this as a 382 as a guideline here because this worked most of the time. Yeah, of the 5 trades we did today, 4 of them worked spot on. We'll count this one as number 5, and we'll see if it works or not. Now I will stop looking at it and get back to talking about some of the other things that I wanted to mention. Now let's take a look here at, if you have any questions, folks, and I know the line's all bottled up today, but 877-927-6648. Next week, we're going to have Jeff Cooper as our guest one of the days, also Stan Harley one of the days, and maybe we can even get Norman Winsky to come on. But Norman is upset with me. He's got his legal team on my case because that's a joke, folks. He really doesn't. But I mentioned yesterday that Norman does follow the Bradley model as it's written, and that is not true. He's made great modifications because of using the reverse I can't think what they call that darn thing, retrograde motions of the planets, because he's found that that's a big help in it. So his model is much better, and he shows it, of course, but it does not use it as in the book. He's made lots of changes. Of course, he's got 50 years experience, and that's why he can do those kinds of things. So let's keep that in mind as we look at this. Now, let's take another look at a couple trades that we've had on that we were working with. One of the things we did this morning is we've been short the euro for quite some time. And we actually, for just just about 13 days to be exact. And it finally made a 3 drive to a bottom pattern down here at the 1780 level. It did go a little lower. It went down to 1770, but this is where we wanted to cover our shorts. It was a very nice profit, well over $1,300, which turned out to be pretty nice considering we were only risking about 40 pips when we put the trade on. So that part made it very, very lucrative, as they might say. Now the next one, of course, one of our all-time favorite things to trade, of course, is the Treasury bonds, and we've maintained our bearish attitude on this for quite some time. You'll notice we had the 3 drive to a bottom pattern down here right after Fed Day. That was a start of Rosh Hashanah, and here we are coming up tomorrow to Yom Kippur. You buy on Rosh Hashanah and sell on Yom Kippur is what it says in stocks. But you'll see the ABCD pattern up there at 164.20. And it went down and made a little over 1.5 handles down there. And so it was a really nice move. And of course, it stopped exactly at the 78% retracement. That made it a 135 pattern. Unfortunately, had so many things going today that we didn't put that order in to be a buyer. And it would have had a nice profit in it anyway, but because it's got all the way up to 63.24 today. But there's only, I'm in gold. I'm in I was in gold. Just a lot of things happening. And so gold, bonds, and a few other things. I just wanted to cover the bonds, and that's what we did. I should have reversed that one. And actually, if I was going to do that, I would have reversed the one on the euro too. But the euro one is really interesting. And let me give you my 2 cents worth on this. And like I say, if you pay more than 2 cents, you're overpriced. But take a look at the euro, and when you reverse it and put it in the eyes of the dollar index, you can see, look closely, folks, between the 14th of June and the 12th of July, you can see that little 3 drive to a tap pattern. Then the market came down right on the 28th of July, Ralph Elliott's birthday, and that was actually a 78% retracement. It goes up and makes a perfect ABCD 3 drive to a top pattern up there at 93.60. You can see the ABCD marked in red there. We thought it was going to go to about 93.50. It went to 93.75, came all the way down to the 382 support. And then for the last 8 days, it's had a bias to the upside, and that has continued. And that's telling you this U.S. dollar could be having some legs here, folks. Because if we can get it above 93.30, that would mean the euro would have to really get hit to the downside. You'll be looking at a market that could have some movement. But it can go at any time. That dollar index could give up, and then you're looking at something really, really ominous. We've shown this in the weekly chart of that dollar index over half a dozen times in the newsletter for our 24/7 followers, and that's pretty much what we're paying very close attention to as we look at these markets each day. We try to line them up so that you see the different patterns that we've had. So we've covered the gold, bonds, the euro, the S&P, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and the natural gas. And I haven't done anything other than look at that 382 in soybeans. And folks, this is very important. I'm going to bring this up because this is a really important 382 that we just hit in the soybeans. And you'll see why that's important is we took the highs of September out back on September 7th. We took it out by 2 cents and then just gave it up. I mean, it literally dropped about 30 cents from the high, and 23 cents. And that is really a negative thing because that makes a little ABCD at the 382. And the only way soybeans can be bullish now is if we reverse and get above that 1309 level. Now, the corn that we missed, the December corn, got up to 38, I believe, 538. We were trying to buy it at 591. It got down to, I think, 491, and it got down to 498, I believe, or 499. And then it, took off, and we were able to miss that one. And of course, the wheat has continued to move higher. Today, it's backing off a little bit, but it's still 30-some cents higher than the 61% retracement, that we were looking at when we were watching the wheat, as far as a buy point. So I think that's relative important to pay attention to as we're watching some of these things unfold here each day. So that's my 2 cents, and I'm sticking to it. Someone's asked a question about the cocoa. I believe cocoa is going to be in a correction mode here. We get this up here, you'll be able to see it here. There it is. We had that move down to the 382, had the big move up almost to the 1.618 expansion, and then it reversed with the wide-ranging bar. Now, I haven't checked it in the last 3 days, so I'm going to do that when we come up to the break to see if we are going to be going lower, because I would assume that pattern, because it goes up and reverses so quickly, would be telling us that cocoa wants to go a little bit lower. When we get back from the break, we're going to take a look at the wheat market and the cocoa market to keep our friends here at TFNN that follow the commodities really happy. And we'll also look at the December corn market, because that's another one, the largest crop that we have in the United States. We'll be watching that one too, because we are getting ready for harvest time, folks. This is a harvest moon today, that big full moon we have.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other tigers and tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David Wright has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cocoa market first. It had that big sell-off, And by golly, it stopped exactly at the 61% retracement there at 2,600. We rallied up to 2,680 to the 78% level, but it's beginning to look a little toppy in here. We're down a little bit in cocoa today. I don't trade cocoa, but I watch it because Ruby loves it. And if Ruby loves cocoa, it's good enough for me. Anyway, we'll take a look at that in the next few days here, because if we go a little bit higher, we're going to have a 3 drive to a top pattern up there, which would be a double top up there at around that 2770. And that one, I might even think about trading. I mean think, because I'm not going to trade it. I'm just looking at it from a long-term perspective to try to give you some ideas. If you have a question, I'll try to answer it based on what I see, in the markets. But let's take a look here. One that's been very good to us, of course, is this wheat trade. We had a lot of things to be a buyer of wheat. We had the big ABCD pattern up here. You can see it very clearly from the March low to the August high, just an absolute perfect ABCD pattern within 7 cents of the exact high. From there, we broke from 780 all the way down to 680, and then we were a strong buyer there. We thought that would be really good because that was a 135 pattern. And just like it was back in July, there's just a trend has been up all the way. You just had to look to be a buyer on some of these major corrections. You can see the one in July. From the middle of May to the end of the beginning of July was a beautiful 3 drive to a bottom pattern in the wheat also. And that's what we're watching here as we look at these grains. We try to match the patterns with what we see in price, and we try to risk as little as possible. And we also want to talk about our good old friend, Mr. Christmas Corn. We'll get it up here and moving around. Any questions I mentioned, 877-927-6648. But don't waste your time right now, folks. You'll have to wait. Al told me the line is lit up like it's never been before. It's like the World Series is in play. Here is the trade that I really loved and didn't get filled. I sat there holding my hand out, and they wouldn't give it to me. I was trying to buy it at $4.91 with a sell stop at $4.81. That's about as cheap as you can get to be a farmer. You had a double ABCD pattern there. You were trading at the 78% retracement. Your stop was below the 61% retracement of the whole move. That was everything you had. Now, all we've been able to do now is to make a 382 retracement from the high that we made back here in early August. Now, that, in fact, itself is enough to probably want to look to go short sometime today because of the fact that it took 6 days to make a 382 retracement. That's a sign that, maybe it's going to be looking at. Mr. Z is saying, Mr. ABCD. Z, you were never here at the house, but by golly, for 3 years, Mark and I worked together, and every time he came into the office, he used the other room here at the office, and he would come out and we would sit and chat, especially when we had a guest, and he would always say, it's ABCD, it's time for me. And he did that in bonds day after day, using the opening price and the ABCD patterns in bonds, and he did it over and over again. And I understand Mrs. Douglas, Paula T. Webb, is doing the same thing. In fact, I am going to have Paula as a guest next week if I can convince her to do it. She's now living in Palm Springs, California, doing her things that she did with Mark, with traders and stuff. And she also is she's a preacher for the sheriff's department in Palm Springs, California. So she gives counsel to the sheriffs, and I'm sure they really need it. So we'll see. Okay, that was the gold. We covered we covered the corn, we covered the cocoa, we covered the treasury bonds, and we covered the euro. And one more that we want to do here is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. This is the one that I did here for the folks at the Money Show. This is where we were. This is as of where we were at the Money Show. You'll see back there on the 14th and 15th, we were getting ready to say below 34,000, and this suggests the market's made a major top. That was an ABCD pattern right there at the 61% retracement at 34,350. We have not taken that out as yet. We hit it 2 days in a row. We're still substantially above it. So let's keep them. But we get below that, folks, they're going to dim the lights at Broad and Wall. I can almost give you a 100% 2-cent money back guarantee if they do that, because that would be very, very negative. That's no question about it. That's the thing that you do not want to have that to happen, because it makes it pretty tough. Now we're trading now at 44.51. I sold it at 44.50. The ABCD pattern on this measured to 44.52. We're 41.50 now. My stop is at 44.56, 5 points. And I'm sure if I get stopped out today, this will probably be my last day, but who knows? That's a little joke, folks, but it's early in the day here in the old Pueblo, and I'm just trying to entertain you and entertain myself with some things that might happen. I don't get any questions, so it's pretty tough, to talk about things. One thing I can talk about that I feel relatively negative about this stock, and I don't know why, because it's the most widely held stock in the world. But look at Apple, how it's acting in the face of some, pretty good news it had with, I guess it was good news, maybe not. But you notice we had that 382 retracement right after the report came out. And this measures at least down to the 143, 144 level. I don't know what we're doing today. This was as of early this morning, but that's not a very bullish chart. Now, if it gets above 154, that'll be a different thing. But right now, it's certainly not doing that. And I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but it could. Let's get back to Mark Douglas, folks, because I miss the guy quite a bit. And believe it or not, it was he passed away here on the what was it day was it? He died the 20th. Let me see. He died the 17th of this month, 5 years ago. Shut the front door and raise the rent. I missed Paula's birthday. Doggone it! That's when I was in. Her birthday was the 14th. He died on the 16th, 2 days after her birthday. He would have been 65 on the 27th of September. Anyway, he had such great stuff, and he worked so hard at it too. Some of his favorite quotes that I really liked it says, "No disgrace in guessing wrong. The mistake is in staying wrong." And that's what you have to do if you try to be a professional trader, which sometimes I try to do, is if you recognize when you've made a mistake, correct the darn thing, get out of the way. That's the main thing that you really got to do. I really like that. I remember the quote by Paul Tudor Jones, "Lose your opinion instead of your money." That's the one that I have to struggle the most on, because I think I know more than I do just by looking at these charts, and I have to be really careful because they can really change you quite a bit. That's the main thing of looking at what we're watching here. The other thing that I spend a great deal of time with is, when we do the trader's handbook, it's got all the things that I use, the harmonic numbers, the ABCD. It's got a trading plan in the back of the book there that is, it's got, I think, over 2,000 or 3,000 trades that were done using the ABCD. It mathematically proves that it works. And then it shows the critical times of the trading sessions for the euro and stuff. But the euro trading session, folks, the really important one is the one in London when it opens at 8 o'clock in the morning. Of course, that is 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night here. So anyway, let's take a break. 877-927-6648.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, Mr. Z's asked me to pull up a chart on Dr. Copper. I started out with the 4-hour chart showing you the swings that are going. I also showed it to the daily because you can see on the daily that has that big 1-3-5 pattern to the downside. If Dr. Copper is right, and we've made highs since way back in May, was the high in copper around 490, I believe, and we got down to 390 and rallied up, to a very small amount here, but it still looks lower. Look, you can see the ABCD pattern. The Gartley there says it should get down about another 8 or 9 cents to complete that smaller Gartley, and that's going to be a very, very important one to see that it holds. But since we're looking at copper, and I hope that answers all the questions, Z, if you don't, just drop a note into the room there, and I'll try to answer. But if you want to see a bearish chart, boys and girls, I'm going to show you one right now. So hold on just 1 second. This might be the bottom in it, but if it isn't, look out, Gertrude, because it's going to be going down a whole lot more, and that is none other than Lone Ranger's favorite, Hi-Ho Silver. Look at this, folks. We had a 382 back in July. We really focused on that one. We had a 382 in September, and look where we are now, folks. We've gone from 2490 to 2276. That's a $10,000 move in 8 days. And if you want to do the mathematics on this, let's just do it together so we can see how AB equals CD works, right, Mark? Let's just get it up here. We'll take the high up there as a A. Your B's down there in August, your C's right there, and shut the front door and raise a rent. You're looking at some lower prices in silver. And believe it or not, folks, you're not going to believe this price. So stay with me. Here it comes. The ABCD on this silver move, if we get below that 22-cent level, is down at $18.50. Are you kidding me? Now, that's going to be important because if it does that, and if it does that, it's going to break down through the strong support. Let's get the long term up here, and you'll get this up here right now. Now, let me just think just a tiny bit, folks. We got gold breaking down. We got copper breaking down. We got iron ore breaking down. I mean, all the silver breaking down. Excuse me, where's the inflation in this? Huh? Hello, operator. I'm just not a strong believer of it. And folks, you folks that believe in mathematics and all the stuff that's going on in the world, I want you to take this to consideration. 5 million souls have died because of COVID. And I know there's a big thing about whether they're tallied as total or dying or whatever. But roughly 5 million people in the world have died out of 7 billion people, folks. You just do the math yourself. Just have some fun with zeros. Just do the math, okay? And then the other thing is stop and think, how can there only be, we've lost, I think, 16 million people, I think it's 16 million people in the United States. I don't remember the exact figure, but we have lost more people dying of COVID in our country than have died of COVID in India. Now, I know you're going to say, well, India doesn't, calculate it the way we do. Yeah, maybe that's so. But they got 1.3 billion people. They should at least be 4 or 5 times more people dying than we do. I don't trust these statistics. That's the end of the politicians' voice of the day. I'm getting off my soapbox, and we'll be talking about pork bellies. Now, can't talk about pork bellies because they no longer exist, along with eggs and a few other things, and potatoes. Always used to love trading potatoes. And by golly, the S&P is hurting us today. This looks like it's going to be my last day here at TFNN. If we get stopped out of this puppy, we're at the 50% level now. My stop is at 456. We're a point away. 456 would be 5. Yeah, 456 is my stop. 455.50. We're going to get it. Anyway, that's it. Yeah, we're going to get filled here. 55.70. There, we get rid of it here, then I can get back to business. Anyway, that was a perfect ABCD that failed. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So that's neither here nor there. So we'll see how that is going. We're definitely going to get filled here because we're at 455.75. And I'll hear the beeper go off in just a second and not worry about it. So that's a short-term trades. Now, remember, folks, it's very, very important when you're trading pattern recognition, you only take the winning trades. That's the key to this whole thing is don't trade. Yep, we got out. 456. That will be the high tick, but that's okay. I don't want to risk more than 6 points on anything, but I've had one heck of a good day, so I am not worried about what happens with it the rest of the day. All I know, folks, this market's going down, and it's going down big time. And it's just a matter of make sure you get a little piece in here because some morning you might wake up and they might say, whoa, you're going to have a hard time buying anything or selling anything today, folks, because nobody wants to buy it. So that's what we're paying attention to. So we'll keep a close eye on that as we go through here, right here. Someone asked me, could this be a major low in gold? Yes, absolutely it could, but I have to get more information on it. The silver looks terrible, but that also could be a major low. But frankly, I just don't think that I would want to mess around with it. So that's what I'm waiting to see. I had a good day in gold. We netted 2,700 on that gold. We made 32 on the downside, lost 5 on the upside. And that's the way it goes. So we had a really good day today. So we're not made over $1,000, maybe $1,200 in the euro, and one other one that we had. I can't even remember the other one that we had. It was really good. The bonds. The bonds was, 1,500. So all three of those were really, really good. Even though the wheat's basically unchanged today. We still happen to be long the wheat. Okay. Now that's about it. Now let's move on here to the next one. The question that we have from the den is. Okay, hold on one second here. Now the question nowhere. Question about cryptocurrencies. Folks, I know very little about cryptocurrencies. Fortunately, I converse with John Jameson quite a bit on that, but I don't, as I recall, he still thinks that they're still good, but I never talked to him too much about the cryptos because I don't really have much interest in them because I have not been involved with them. I don't plan to be involved with them. So that's really what I'm looking at. So I really don't know. I frankly think they must be real because there's so many people and so much money trading them now, folks. You can't get $1 trillion market. This is certainly not a bubble. If it is, it's the greatest disguised bubble of all times. But, that's neither here nor there. It could be. I don't know. I leave that to I look at the charts, and it doesn't look like a bubble. Excuse me. It doesn't look like a bubble to me. Looks like it easily make 80,000 on that. If you look at the ABCD pattern on the cryptos, the high was 65,000. We backed off to 28,000. You'd multiply that times 1.618. Or 1.27, it takes you to 75,000, and 1.618 is going to take you up even higher. So that's it. Okay. Well, the high on the S&P was 56. Now, usually when it's like that, I change my stop by 1/4 cent. and it still would have got there because it went to 56 and a quarter. I'm just joking, folks. I didn't do this trade. I can't walk and chew gum at the same time as I'm watching these things. So I'm just trying to entertain you with some of these patterns. Unfortunately, the one that I showed you that I did like, there were 6 of them today, and 4 of them worked, which is pretty good, and the other 4 worked big time. So this was just a little bitsy one. So that's what we're watching. If you have any questions, 877-927-6618. Hurry up, there's one line open.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave! Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Are you looking for a secure investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value, buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
Hi, folks. This is Steve Rhodes. Stay tuned for another great hour of The Trader's Edge, heard here at TFNN.com.
Okay, those of you that got the message on the double reversing signal at 456, it's now time to cover your profits. And if you believe that, folks, I still have 2 shares of the Brooklyn Bridge. This 382 pattern, in my opinion, failed because I didn't want to risk more than 6 cents on that. And I didn't do the trade, but I did a paper trade, and paper trade that you don't lose any money on is always very good. So it turned out to be okay. Next week, we're going to have Jeff Cooper on. We're also going to have Stan Harley on. And I believe we are due to talk to Mr. Bost again from Financial Cycles Weekly, who's always fun talking about the cryptos. And I'm doing my very best to try to get John Jameson on to talk to us about just the overall state of the news that's out there and how it's, because believe me, folks, the news in London and the UK is just like our news here. You don't know what's right and what's wrong, and they change their minds, just like just like the Lakers bring in substitutions. Anyway, that's what we're paying attention to. So pay close attention to it, folks. This market's going lower. The key number to look at is 44.25. If we go below 44.25, that is going to trigger a whole lot of selling, especially if this is nothing more than a 3-day rally. That is a very, very sad sign, and the market will go. All it's going to do is give you a great buying opportunity, folks. I don't know when the bottom's going to come in. I don't think there may or may not be a crash. Don't really care about that because I'm a short-term trader, and I know when to get in and when to get out, and that's what I hang my hat on, and I try to teach people to do it. These patterns don't work all the time, but they work a heck of a lot better than my usual system of the 200-day golden cross, where the 400-day moving average crosses the 800-day moving average. And the good part about that is you only get 2 signals a lifetime, and the second part of that hasn't come up yet. So remember that number, folks, 44.20. Below that in the S&P is going to be very negative any way you look at it. So I think it's important to pay very, very close attention to that. That's what I wish I.